Hey guys, it's Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do something a little different. So I have been spending way too much at the grocery store. In the month of January, I spent way more than two people should spend. Granted, I was stocking up on a lot of things I don't normally buy, like my BJ's Wholesale Club run, my Trader Joe's run, but still, I really want to get to a point where I'm spending $400 max on groceries because it's just two of us. So with that, this week I decided to cook out of my pantry. And the way I define that is like not buying any additional or specific ingredients for specific recipes. So I found recipes that I already had all the ingredients on hand and I am making those. So it is almost 8 o'clock, so I have to really hustle and get my dinner on for tonight in the slow cooker. I work 9 to 5:30, so I get home a little later. So I've really been trying to do more slow cooker recipes. That way when I get home, I have minimal cooking to do. So I'm excited. Today we're making one of my favorite slow cooker recipes, and it's really inexpensive, a big pot of refried beans. This recipe is from the pioneer woman, Ray Drummond, so I will attempt to link it below. If not, you can just look up her slow cooker refried bean recipe. It is super yummy and super easy, so let's get cooking. To assemble. So first I'm going to dump in 1 pound of pinto beans into my slow cooker. I did soak these overnight in a large bowl in some water, and then I rinsed them this morning in the strainer. I do recommend soaking them overnight just to ensure that they do cook through all the way in your slow cookers, since some slow cookers vary in cooking temperature. I'm also gonna add in 1 chopped onion. I try to chop it like relatively small, but some of the pieces are a little bigger, but I'm not too worried about it because I'm gonna hit the beans with an immersion blender later on. Trying to get this onion peel out of here, hold on. Okay, so these go in here. And then I used a sweet onion, but you can use white or even red if you want to. Whatever you have on hand. The only ingredients I bought for this recipe that I didn't have was an onion, and I got some avocado for garnishing. All right, so then I'm gonna add 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it because I have the minced garlic that's in the jar. I think that is enough. And then I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. And then I'm going to add some cumin and cayenne pepper. So for the cumin, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon. Oh, and I have a brand new jar, so I gotta open this. Cumin. And if you don't want to do just straight cumin, you could also sub taco seasoning. I've done that before. Okay. And then we're gonna do some cayenne pepper. If you don't like spicy food, you can 100% omit cayenne pepper. I like spicy food, so I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon, or you can just decrease to 1/4 teaspoon. I've even upped it to like an entire teaspoon before, but I'm just gonna do 1/2 today. Alrighty. All right, that should be good. And lastly, this is an optional step, so if you want to make these vegetarian, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to add some bacon strips. So I had leftover bacon from breakfast that I made yesterday morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and crumble up some of this, which is gonna be super yummy, and just add some more flavor to the beans. That's one thing about beans is I feel like a lot of people don't like beans, but if you can season it really well, you know, lots of salt, lots of pepper, if you can add any additional spices, like this has the cumin and the cayenne, it's just gonna bump up the flavor even more. And then lastly, if you have family that lives in the South, you're gonna get this. And then if you're not from the South or don't know anyone from the South, you're gonna think this is gross. But I'm gonna add some bacon grease. My mom taught me this, and so I just poured the grease from the baking yesterday in a pan, and I'm gonna add about a tablespoon. And so that, and then lastly, I'm gonna add 7 cups of water. And if you go a little over, that's fine too, because what you're gonna do later is you're gonna strain out some of the liquid before you blend these beans up. So that is 4 cups, and now I just need to add 3 more. Let me make sure this is exactly 3. And it is. All right, 7 cups. And that's it. Lastly, I did add about a teaspoon of black pepper. I just felt like I wanted to add that. And then I gave the beans a stir. Everything stirred really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and select high, and I'm gonna set these for 10 hours. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna plop the lid on, and they're gonna cook all day while I'm at work, and we'll regroup when I get home. I did want to mention that from start to finish, me chopping the onion, throwing everything in the crock pot only took me 15 minutes, and probably would have taken me less time if I hadn't been filming and walking you guys through it. So really awesome quick recipe for weekday mornings, and it's going to smell amazing when I get home today from work, and I can't wait for you guys to see the finished product. I am back from work. The beans are fully cooked. It does actually look like a ton of the liquid cooked out, which is okay. I'm not gonna ladle as much out as I normally would, so I'm gonna ladle out a little bit of this liquid and just put it in a measuring cup or a separate bowl. Then I'm gonna go ahead and blend the beans up using my immersion blender. If the beans end up needing more liquid, then we can just add in a little more of the liquid from the bowl that you set aside. All done blending, the beans look perfect. And I actually didn't have to add in any more of the reserve liquid. I did leave, I didn't blend it till it was completely smooth. I left some of the beans in there chunky because I just like that texture the best. And these are seasoned perfectly. I didn't have to add any other seasonings. So the beans are all done. I'm gonna move on to our toppings. So I thought about doing ground turkey, but I'm actually just gonna do veggies tonight. It just sounded good. The beans are going to be super filling anyway, so I'm just going to roast up some of these fire roasted bell peppers and onions and this fire roasted corn. Both are from Trader Joe's. So just going to cook this in the skillet and then we'll assemble. Okay, and here's the finished product. I cannot wait to eat. This looks so good. I'm so hungry. And so I just topped my burrito with some cheese, some salsa, some sour cream, got some avocados. So if you were gonna make this without any like cooking extra garnishes or like ground turkey or beef or whatever, the bean part of it only took like 30 minutes. Honestly, probably less than that. So super easy dish. You can eat the beans on a tortilla, nachos. You could eat them over rice, and it cooks so much. So you will definitely have leftovers. And I like to actually freeze these. So I'll put probably half of them in the freezer and we'll use them in the future, and then I will just stick them in the oven in a Pyrex dish and bake them, and we'll use them as a side for taco night. But super inexpensive dinner, doesn't take a lot of time, and perfect if you have dried beans in the pantry that you've been needing to use. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful dinner. Oh, I can't wait to eat. It looks so good. Good morning. It's another day of cooking out of my pantry, and I have scrounged up the ingredients today for my slow cooker recipe before I head out to work. I've got baby carrots, chicken, a ranch seasoning pack, a brown gravy mix, butter, and some peppercini, and this is all going to be used to make Mississippi chicken. So let's go ahead and assemble. It's a little dark in here, but when I had all the lights up, there was a crazy glare in my crock pot, so we're just gonna go with the dimmer lights this morning. So I added my chicken breasts to my crock pot. They are still a little bit frozen. I did not add cooking spray because I'll be adding butter to the crock pot, and also I'll be adding liquid, which should help it from sticking. And so the first thing I'm gonna do is, actually I'm gonna throw a little bit of salt on my chicken, not salt, pepper. I'm not going to add any extra salt because I am going to add in those seasoning packets which have salt in them. So just some fresh ground pepper, but you do not have to. Then I'm going to add in the baby carrots. And this is actually a modification. You can really add whatever vegetables you want. I had these in the fridge and I need to use them up, which is why I'm adding them. And I hope that they cook through all the way, because sometimes baby carrots in this crock pot specifically, I think this one cooks at a lower temperature, which is why they don't always cook all the way through. I can always bump it up to high when I get home if I need to finish cooking them off. Now I'm going to add my seasoning pack. So first I'm going to dump in the ranch packet and just sprinkle it all over. Yeah, my mom found this recipe and I tried it with the pot roast and it was super, super good. It's super easy and the ingredients you're putting in this are pretty low cost. So this makes for another inexpensive dinner. And then I'm just going to sprinkle the brown gravy pack in. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid. So I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of water. And then I'm gonna add in 1/2 stick of butter. The recipe that my mom shared with me actually calls for an entire stick, but I just feel like that's too much for my taste personally. I'm also gonna take the pepperoncinis and I'm going to drizzle some of the juice in here. Just a splash. And let me grab a fork really quick. And then I'm going to take the pepperoncinis and I'm going to throw a couple of these into the crock pot. And the vinegar will help tenderize the chicken as it's cooking. And it will just give it a nice flavor. And pepperoncinis aren't too. I'm just going to finish off the jar, honestly, since we are clearing out the fridge and the pantry. Awesome. And that is it. So let me flip the camera around and I'll show you a better view of what's going on in the crock pot. Here it is. So very simple. That took me all of 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on top. And I'm going to set this to low for 8 hours. And it will be smelling really good when I get home. Alrighty folks, I am home. My Mississippi chicken is cooked. I just tasted a bite and it is really, really good. It has a slight bit of spice from the peppers, but it's not overly spicy. It has a really, really good flavor. I'm so excited to eat. I am beyond hungry. I am starving. But I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes first to put the chicken over top, and I just have this bag from Trader Joe's. These I'm just going to throw on the stovetop. They shouldn't take more than like 15 or 20 minutes, and then we are going to feast. So I'm just going to throw this chicken right over top with mashed potatoes and enjoy. It's going to be so good. All right, guys, I think that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful. It was such a good exercise to clear out my pantry and find ingredients to use in recipes. just so that I'm not wasting food and I'm saving myself some money. I do have like a habit of looking up recipes and I won't have like any of the ingredients, and then I have to go out to the store to get them all, and it just gets expensive, you know? So I definitely think this was a great exercise for me, and it saved me some money. It saved me some time because both of these recipes were crock pot recipes, and you can just throw everything in the slow cooker in the morning and get home after work and everything is done for you. So it's been really fun. I hope this video was helpful and inspired you to maybe clear out your pantry, see what's in there and what you can use to make some delicious meals. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoyed this, let me know so that I can create more videos like this in the future. Thanks for following along, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.